You're welcome back. Sincere apologies for that hiccup there. Government is to provide solar-powered irrigation facilities for dry season farming in a bid to encourage all year-round farming. It will also convert some of the government warehouses in tomato growing areas into cold rooms to help store excess of tomatoes during bumper harvest. This, according to the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, George Odro, is geared towards addressing the continuous challenge of traders having to travel all the way to Burkina Faso to import tomatoes.
The Deputy Agric Minister George Odro, together with his team, first visited some tomato farms in Tuobodom that was made up of the Tomato Traders and Transporters Association. He also met tomato traders from Dema, Afrancho, Akomadang, Techimentia, Techiman, and Bichim at Dema. His visit was to ascertain at first hand the challenges along the trade and why traders resort to Burkina Faso at the expense of local production. This comes at the back of Joy News documentary Desert Tomatoes on the plight of tomato traders and why they resort to Burkina Faso to bring tomatoes.
I'm very much worried, and I'm very much angry and annoyed about it. How could you allow our people to send, from what they are saying, I don't have the data yet, but from them, they say 54 billion CFA. If you translate it to Ghana, it's not a small amount. We want to provide an irrigation facility system for them, powered by solar pumps. And where there are rivers, we give them pumping machines. But where there are no rivers, we help them to get to drill a borehole for them and supply them with solar power pumps to distribute the water so that they'll be able to do the farming during that period from May up to December. That's the dry season that they are talking about. They have to finish the farming season, that was up to July, before we're able to install those facilities. We've just started everything, and we are yet to do tender about the people to drill the boreholes and those who supply the machines and the solar systems. You know, we are constructing 80 warehouses across the country, and we are going to turn those at the areas where they produce tomatoes and, let's say, perishable goods. We are going to add cold facilities to it so that they will be able to store what they produce within that municipality. You see, what happens is that you don't have storage facilities. That is creating all these problems. So if you're able...
Mr. Odro also reviewed new varieties that can last at least for 4 weeks are ready to be distributed through the Planting for Food and Jobs to the farmers. The documentary also reviewed traders go through abuse and torture on their way to and from Burkina Faso. Mr. Odro says the ambassador to Burkina Faso has been charged to address the issue.
That one, we are lazy with the Ghana embassy in Burkina. There are certain issues that happen, especially the way they attack some of these women and the buyers wasn't good enough. So the ambassador or the High Commission in Burkina is working on it.
Meanwhile, players in the tomato value chain are excited by the interventions. First, Eric Oseitufo is chairman for the Tomato Traders and Transporters Association.
I welcome it because it will help we, the tomato traders and transporters, more because of what is happening during our cross-border trade. We go to Burkina Faso to trade just to get profits, but there are so many challenges that we are facing over there.
Then, leadership of the Federation of Tomato Growers Association.
What we are saying is that normally people do promise, but to fulfill them is another problem. So all what he was saying about helping us to have a place, storage facilities, giving us some assistance during loans, if all what they are saying will come to pass, then we will admire them and we shall appreciate them.
The journey to Burkina Faso will only end if government does not renege on these promises. Prince Apia reporting.
And you could say Joy News gets results on that story. Now, 2 years ago, he mistook a liquid substance as his mother had reserved to prepare liquid soap as fruit juice and drank it. Little did 8-year-old bride know it was caustic soda. This act of his affected his ability to swallow. A first surgery on him at the Komfo Teaching Hospital wasn't successful, so a second one was needed, and that's what brought him and his pregnant mother to the street of Santa Maria here in Accra, where with the aid of a pastor, they sat under the sun soliciting funds. Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo, who saw the story on Joy News, paid for the entire surgery, costing 150,000 cedis. A man of God, Prophet Nigel Gazy, also assisted with 3,000 cedis. Producer of the story, Hannah Odame, caught up with Bright and his mother after the surgery. Here is her story.
Little Bright here, 8 years old, was months ago on the streets of La Paz begging for money to enable him undergo a surgery because he had drunk caustic soda which affected his throat, preventing him from drinking or swallowing anything. He was first operated on at the Komfo Teaching Hospital but transferred to Accra when doctors there realized that it was getting difficult to receive proper treatment. Now he's here, and through the courtesy of First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo as well as Prophet Nigel, he has undergone a successful surgery at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital under the leadership of Dr. Ofe Labi, and here he is. And we want to find out from him how he feels after the surgery. How are you, Bright?
I'm fine.
Great. First off, tell us, what can you do that you couldn't do at first?
I'm very fine.
You say, I'm feeling fine.
Acha.
You are able to swallow.
Okay.
So what are some of the things you can do now that you couldn't do at first?
This year, with minimum drink
But after food, mommy will still have to mash it for you, right?
Yes.
But at least, can you play with your friends now?
Yes.
Really? Then I'll play hide and seek with you before we leave here. So you showed us the tubes before the operation. Can you let us see how it looks now after the surgery? Let's look at it. Open it for us. Get up. Get up. Let's see how it looks. So that's Bright. Before the surgery, he had these same tubes, but after the surgery, it's still there. Just that in about a few months, we've been told by the doctors that they will be removed after he's able to swallow actual solid food. And so that's little Bright. Okay, you can have your seat now. So what would you say? You know that it was a First Lady and Prophet Nigel who helped you. What would you say to them?
I would say thank you to doing all this for me. Thank you.
Okay. What lesson have you learned from going to drink the caustic soda that brought all these troubles? What lesson have you learned?
I wish I don't go and drink caustic soda
again. Not only caustic soda, anything that you have not been asked to take, I hope you will not touch it. So she's full of smiles because, of course, her son has successfully undergone a surgery that will enable him to eat, and that's Vida. How are you, Vida?
Fine. I'm so happy now. Previously, I was so burdened by my son's condition that it affected my health. One advice I have for parents is they should be very mindful of dangerous substances in the house. I know my carelessness caused this. My greatest thanks to First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo and Prophet Nigel for helping my son.
That's a warning as well as excitement from Vida, who is mother of little Bright, who has successfully undergone a surgery, and she's also going to give us a bundle of joy soon, as we have all seen. For Joy News, my name is Hannah Odame.
And that's a very touching story. Let me end with this one before I bring you sports. The Tema Eastern Naval Command Intelligence Cell has arrested some unknown persons suspiciously of loading fuel from a cannon into 3 fuel tankers at the Cannon Basin in Tema. According to the Commanding Operations Officer Isaac Mahama Abu, the Eastern Naval Command Intelligence Cell spotted a cannon popping fuel into the Cannon Basin at about 1 a.m. this dawn. A team was sent to the scene to ascertain what was going on at the Cannon Basin, and as they reported, they found those people doing what I just said. Now, Commander Isaac Mahama Abu said this during a media briefing at Tema. We'll bring you more of that in Joy News Prime.